Well, hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Shani and I'm a part-time reseller. And today I have a ship with me and a little bit of a bonus, a small haul from this last weekend I went to Kansas, back home to see my mom for Mother's Day. And so I figured I only had one item sell yesterday. And so I figured I would show you that. And then I would show you a very small haul from Kansas. Just from a Saturday of going to a few garage sales, a couple flea markets, and an estate sale. So not a whole lot, but what I do have one thing that is already, it literally sold within an hour of me listing it, and it was a pretty good sell. So let's just jump into it. If you don't know me, I am a part-time reseller and I am a full-time hospice on-call nurse. And today is Friday, so if I didn't say that, it is Friday, the 23rd, May the 23rd. And tonight is my first night back to work. I work 7 days on, and then I have 7 days off. But this is my last on-call rotation as an on-call nurse. I am actually going to be switching roles and just doing like a 4-day-a-week during the daytime, kind of admissions part-time nurse. So hopefully it's gonna be a change because I'm so used to being home every single day and then just working nights and then having 7 days off in a row, which sounds glorious, but sometimes when you work nights and you're on call, you know, every night for 15 hours and then you cover the entire weekend, every other weekend, I'm hoping that it's a better change for me. Maybe you guys will see me less tired on here. I don't know. I'm also middle-aged, so I feel like being tired is just a normal thing. Anyway, not to go into too much detail on that, but I am ready to get this 7 days. I can do anything for 7 days, and this is my last time. Hopefully I will ever have to be on call. So cross my fingers. Okay, so my sale yesterday was on eBay. It is these Crocs women's Patricia Wedge slip-on sandals, size 6. And I got these from, where did I get these? I got these at a garage sale, I'm pretty sure, on May the 3rd for $3. Let me look actually, because now I'm like questioning myself. Here's the crazy thing. I got 2 pair. I got another pair also. No, I got them at a thrift store for $3. I remember getting them now because I was in shock that this thrift store had only posted them for $3 because this thrift store normally, it used to be one of my favorites, but now it outprices itself. So I did pick these up for $3. They are in pretty good condition, just some slight surface wear, but you can tell they haven't been worn a whole lot. These are size 6 and they are going to Guam, which I saw that and I was like, oh, I don't know what that shipping's gonna be like, but it actually wasn't bad at all. So anyway, these sold for $19. I took an offer on them and that made my profit $13.50. So, and the crazy thing is I got an offer on these. I think I told you guys about it for, was it $10 I got an offer on? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that low. And then they sold for $19. So I'm pretty happy with that. But going out just in a poly, they're Crocs, and you know, I'm not really worried about them being smashed or anything. So I'm just gonna go in a poly and get that out. All right, so let me show you what I got. There's a couple bigger pieces, so I'm hoping that you'll be able to see it. So I've told you about the jewelry lots in the last couple videos. I told you about that really good jewelry brooch, the Trifari, that I have listed for $400. I know it's it's gonna take a right buyer. So who knows? I've already gotten an offer for only $100 on it, which is way lower than what comps were. So I declined that. But in that same jewelry lot, I got about, I bought one mason jar full, and it was $30. And I actually, let me show you a couple pieces from that. Let me grab them. I think I have them here. Yeah. Okay. So this was in a flea market. They had just brought them in, and they had several jars full of random jewelry. And I got to talking to the owner, or to the owners of that flea market booth, and she had told me that they try their best to, you know, if there's if there's an earring in it, they try their best to never put only like one earring in it. They want it to be like wearable jewelry. And so this is kind of like my junk jar. I went through it and I was like, okay, these are I'm gonna just kind of fill this up with like junk scrap jewelry I'm not gonna use, and then eventually probably sell it. But like, look how pretty this necklace would have been if all of the jewels would have been in it. And this is a signed vintage piece as well. I thought it was signed. Oh, maybe it wasn't, but I was able to Google Lens it and figure out, but the earrings were in here as well, but this was missing jewels. So I was like, okay, well, that stinks. But one thing that was in there is this vintage brooch. It is unsigned, but I was able to look it up and find out the maker. And I actually posted this yesterday or the day before on eBay. Let me get you my title, because I have already posted this for sale. I posted it high. This is a vintage Juliana D&E red. I put red glass garnet rhinestone brooch gold tone. It is unsigned. A lot of the pieces, when you look up Juliana, they are unsigned, but apparently it has enough of a, you know, like enough of them that everyone knows what they are. So I don't know. I found one exactly like this posted. They had posted theirs, I want to say for $95, and I posted mine. I started it at $70. It's just kind of one of those rare brooches. So I did list it high, but I figured I can always come down. But isn't that so gorgeous? Like, can we all go back to a time where women wore hats and brooches? And I just love it. So anyway, very happy with this find, and it was in the jar full. And that's the reason I bought this jar, because I saw it and I was like, please let the back be on there and be okay. And it was. So just one item out of this jar, I posted for $70, and I bought the jar for $30. I'm going to have my first whatnot. Well, actually, it's not my first whatnot show. It's my first show trying again. I've had one show a few months back, and it was a flannel show where I just sold $5 flannels, and I had 2 sales from the same girl. So I thought, you know, I've talked to some people that have done whatnot, and they're like, just got to stick to it and keep going. And I've been trying to, you know, just have whatnot playing in the background, and I've actually made a couple purchases I've been really happy with. So I decided, you know, I went through all the jewelry, because not only did I buy this, but I bought several bags from this other girl, and that's where I got to this really fancy brooch that I have listed for $400. Also in that same lot, let me find it, was this pair of earrings, and these were in the bags that I bought. Very cute, right? They are Heidi Daus, and Heidi Daus jewelry. It retails for quite a bit. The resale value on these, I think I posted these for around $24.99. So resale values around $20 to $30, just depending on kind of what piece you have. But someone else had this exact pair listed. I didn't see any solds on this, but someone else had these listed for around $25. And so I listed mine for about the same. So those are just a couple of good pieces I found. I also found in the bags, this is a pair of 10 karat gold hoop earrings that I'm gonna list. And the problem with aging eyes is a lot of times the gold will be it'll be engraved right up here on the little clasp. And so this does say 10 karat gold on it, and they're very, very lightweight. I'm gonna list these. I'm not really quite sure where I'm gonna list them at, but I am waiting on like an earring form to come. So I can kind of show, like represent them well in the pictures. That's kind of hard. Same with these. These are signed vintage Monet earrings, which they don't go for a whole lot. I have sold a Monet necklace for around $18.99. But they're just very cute. And I like the fact that they're not clip-on. They are the stud, but they are signed Monet on them. So I'm gonna be posting these two for sale. And then also going through all of that jewelry, I found some sterling silver pieces. And these are just random pieces of sterling silver. And then I also have found a couple more 10 karat gold that were just singles. They don't have their other pair, which is kind of a bummer, but I don't, truthfully, what would you guys do? Because I think I'm just gonna I'm really getting interested in buying jewelry lots. And I almost thought, well, I'll just kind of keep a sterling and a gold, jar, and just kind of keep adding to it and eventually just sell it, cash it in or whatever for the weight. But I mean, that's my thoughts. I don't know. Tell me what you do just with these random pieces. Like, I don't want to just junk this because it's a nice set. So I am going to relist those for sale. But anyway, that's my plan right now. I have about 65, I want to say, items that I'm going to have in my Whatnot show, and I'm going to do $3 starts, and that's going to be June 1st at 7 p.m. Hopefully I can, the first show I was like super I don't know why I was nervous. I think because it's different than YouTube. On YouTube, I'm just here basically talking to myself and then knowing you guys are going to watch it later. And I know I like probably make a fool of myself, but like, Whatnot is like live making a fool of yourself. So I don't know. Couple things to think about, but I am going to go ahead and try that. I also have so many mugs. I thought, because what I've been told, and really when you go through the Whatnot course, before they approve you, they talk about having 50 items per show. That helps bring in people. They also talk about having consistent shows to where people know you're going to be live. They know, the deals you're given, what you sell. I'm almost thinking of just doing like more jewelry, vintage items, things like that on Whatnot. I do have so many coffee mugs. I thought about doing a coffee mug show, just to get, to get rid of all my old coffee mugs. Just some thoughts, and doing like coffee mug $5 starts or something. I don't know, just something to think about, but tell me your thoughts on that. Do you guys do Whatnot? Let me know. Look at this. I've not ever posted this for sale, and this was not from that same lot, but isn't that a gorgeous vintage brooch? I've always thought maybe I should do something with it, but I think I just need to get it listed for sale because it is literally just so gorgeous, I think. And then I also have these little brooches. Look at that. Isn't that cute? There's a pair of them. They almost look like earrings, but they're not. They're actual little brooches. So anyway, just had to show you my goods. Okay, so went to a garage sale, and at first I thought this is just gonna be a bunch of junk, but this was laying on the table. And this is, if you know, you know, this is a Sony CyberShot. It's an older digital camera. I used to have one of these back in the day. This one is pink. She had $5 on it. I asked her, I was like, do you know if this works? And she said it worked the last time I used it. So I kind of brought it home, cleaned it up, and I just posted this morning. I originally put 125 on it, bought it for $5, put 125, and then after I posted it, I thought, you know, I went back and looked at comps, and comps were kind of, they're high. So if you, this is a bolo to know if you do electronics or housewares. If you run across these Sony CyberShots, pick it up. You will get your money back for sure. And this sold within an hour for $99. And so this is gonna go out in tomorrow's video because it literally just sold today. $99 is why I was like, what am I gonna be happy with to where maybe people won't need to make me an offer? And so I brought my price down to $99 plus shipping, and literally the next time I went into my eBay, I had sold it already and they have paid. So that was a good pickup. And I'm like, why can't I find stuff like that all the time? I could quit my full-time job and do this full-time if I could find items like this all the time, but that's okay. Just some random things from some other garage sales. I went to this garage sale and picked up some things. Nothing was marked. And I got there and she goes, honey, just take all of it. I said, no, I'm going to pay you. And she's like, no, you don't understand. This is all going to the church afterwards. And she's like, I'm done. Just take what you want. I was like, okay. So I took some wooden hangers because I love wooden hangers. They're so nice. And then here's actually one of the old calendar tiles. The crazy thing is this has like, home is where the hearth is, kitchen prayer, and it looks like it was like never used, and it is 1979, which is the year I was born. So I'm actually gonna keep this one. In that same one, I got this old, it says To Mother. Look how sweet this little book is. The cover, look at this original cover. Is that not cute? And this is from this guy. I'm gonna have to read you what he said to his mother. It just says To Mother, and 1971, and it's just it's like little poems or little quotes. Many make the household, but only one the home. That is so sweet. Oh, this is so sweet. But this is a little handmade, handwritten note. It says, my dearest mom, you have given me an education in so many ways, and I will hold the memories close to my heart forever. Love, Jim. From 1971. That like makes me want to cry. That is like the sweetest little thing ever. So truthfully, this might just be going to my flea market booth. It almost makes me want to keep it for a little bit just because it's so cute. So that was free. And then this was also free. And this is actually listed. Someone else has this listed. I want to say it was like $15. But this is like a super heavy fabric Santa ornament. And when I did comps, it did give me like a brand, and I can't even think right now what that was. But this was also picked up. Look how cute. Like, it's not heavy, but the fabric just is super stiff. It is, they put a little, they wrote like in a marker 1990. So anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. And then I also got a couple, you know, I love my vintage wooden ornaments. So I got a couple of them. And then I went to this garage sale where they had all of these little vintage They're all marked on the back. Made in Italy, Action. They were $1.50 a piece. But I got 6 of them for 25 cents each. There is glass in front of them. This one got some water damage. So there's a bigger one here, and it just has some tape. Truthfully, they put some tape across the glass in order to try to keep it on. So yeah, the little things to keep it on the back fell off. So I'm gonna have to kind of work with that. But anyway, I thought they were super cute, and I wasn't gonna leave them for $1 each because my love of vintage. That's the kind of stuff I need to do in a Whatnot show with a low start. Stuff I pick up like super cheap like that. Okay, that was garage sale. This was garage sale. Okay, so then my estate sale, where I found everything you see I paid $10, and I actually had something else in the lot that I gave to, I have a friend that she's kind of considered my second mom. She always makes sure I'm taken care of, and her husband and I were paramedic partners back in the day, and we have lost him. He passed away from lung cancer several years ago, but her and I have always remained in touch and just close, and she's like my second mom. So I met her for lunch when I went back to Kansas and got her a little Mother's Day gift, and I had missed her birthday because I hadn't seen her. But anyway, I had a really cool cat picture, like vintage cat picture. It was is it Hagar? And I ended up giving it to her. He charged me, I made a lot, and he charged me $10 for everything you see. The first is this little Hallmark pink snowman. It's a Hallmark Merryweather snowman. I've just figured he'd probably go in my booth. And then an aluminum lawn chair that's in great condition. How cute is that? And these, like on Etsy, kind of crazy. They only had it marked $1. But then when I went up there with everything, he was like, how about just give me a $10 bill? I was like, okay, that works with me. This is a vintage retro, I'm gonna call it a laundry hamper. It's got the little feet on the bottom, and then it's inside. I've got more treasures inside, guys. I had to use these things to hold things on my way home. There was a whole box of some vintage fabric squares that have already been put together. Like literally, I just need to sew them together and make a quilt out of them, or a throw. Look at these. Someone just didn't do anything with them. Aren't they the coolest? They do need washed because they're pretty stinky, but just, you can tell they were setting in like an old attic or something. So a whole stack of them. They had more. He was trying to get me to take more. This is a hand-blown huge vase. Look at this. It's hand-blown, you guys. It's got the hand-blown little closure. It is like there's a stick or something in the bottom of it, and it clearly needs, but look at that. So pretty. Look how huge that is. So that was in that lot. And then I got a box here. I have spiders for free. Spiders came with me. Just some vintage little Christmas. You know me, I'm vintage Christmas. There's hairs on that I need to get off. But isn't that the cutest? I'm going to craft with that. And then look at these. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you. And then more wooden ornaments. A clown one. How creepy is that? Look at this. Look at this clown. Oh gosh. Oh goodness. Okay. Look at that. Anyway, I I was in love at this estate sale. Another little green vase. Isn't that the prettiest? Like I said, spider webs came with it. And then also, this needs some tender love and care, but this vintage laundry hamper. Look at that. I got all of that for $10 plus that vase that I gave away. So anyway, that was a great pickup. Those are probably mostly all going to my flea market booth, just because of like sizing. I don't want to have to ship that, but anyway, that's what I got. Thanks for joining. I'm gonna try to do a video tomorrow. I am on call though, so truthfully, if I do one, it's gonna have to be like short, sweet, to the point, and be done. Last time I was on call, I was able to do one, so fingers are crossed. But if I'm not able to, you know, one thing getting shipped out, I've already had 3 sales this morning, which are good because yesterday, like I said, was pretty slow. So anyway, hopefully this weekend goes good, and I'm hoping I'll see you tomorrow. Have a blessed weekend, and I'll see you later.